If you're listening to this right now, take a moment to stop everything else. Eliminate any distractions because what you're about to hear is significant. You didn't randomly stumble upon this video. You responded to a spiritual calling, a call from Allah, the one who witnesses you when no one else does, the one who hears your unspoken prayers even when your lips remain still. He knows the depths of your struggles, the pain you've buried so deeply that you rarely speak of it. You are not forgotten, invisible, or disqualified. You are chosen. Yes, you, the one who remained humble while others sought the spotlight, the one who sought forgiveness repeatedly despite your failures, the one who continually asks, Ya Allah, when is my time? Let me tell you, the time for your rise is at hand. Allah is about to take action in your life that will leave others wondering, how did this happen? But you will understand, for this is not about volume or perfection, it's about your patience. Allah says in Surah Al-Furqan, those will be awarded the chamber for what they patiently endured, and they will be received therein with greetings and peace. So, engage deeply with this message and stay with me until the end. In these next few hours, we will explore why you've been concealed and why your elevation is destined to make a significant impact. Let us confront a truth we often shy away from. Before Allah presents you to the world, He conceals you. Not because you lack worth, but because you are far too valuable to be rushed. Consider how gold is not found on the surface, nor are diamonds merely hanging from trees. They are buried deep, hidden, and refined through pressure and time. You are being treated like a precious gem. This is why Allah has kept you in a concealed state. Let's frame this appropriately. This is your training ground. You have not been punished, you have been prepared. Reflect for a moment. How many times have you felt overlooked? How many opportunities have passed you by? How often have people dismissed you, misunderstood you, or overlooked your struggles? In those moments, you may have wondered, Ya Allah, do you see me? And in silence, Allah has replied, Yes, I am preparing you. Be patient just a little longer. Behind the scenes, you were engaged in a battle, a fight to maintain your purity, to nurture a soft heart, to remain hopeful when everything around you seemed like a dead end. You prevailed, not by never falling, but by continually rising after every fall. Each time pain, sin, or betrayal knocked you down, you chose to stand up again. Allah witnessed your resilience. He reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah, do as you will, for Allah will see your deeds as will His messenger and the believers. The period of being hidden was sacred. You were not meant to be lauded by the world prematurely. If they had celebrated you too soon, they would have applauded an unfinished version of yourself, and Allah does not offer half measures. You were tenderized in patience, seasoned through prayer, and shaped by silence. It's intriguing how people often assume your quietness is due to uncertainty, when in fact you have been establishing your roots. Picture a seed clamoring for attention underground, no one would notice. But when it breaks through the surface, everyone can see it. How can you know if you are chosen? Consider these indicators. You feel distanced from worldly trends, you long for solitude with Allah over social gatherings, you cannot tolerate sin as others do, your heart yearns towards remembrance of Allah, and experiences that should have shattered you actually strengthened you. This isn't mere coincidence, this is divine calling. The loneliness you faced is not neglect, it is divine protection. Had Allah not shielded you from specific people and situations, your destiny could have been severely compromised. Remember, when Allah loves someone, He purifies them. So, if you've wept in the darkness, felt unnoticed, or carried pain that remains unrecognized, congratulations. It means Allah is ready to reveal to the world the refined version of you. However, here is a critical truth most fail to recognize. Before Allah raises you publicly, He will assess you privately with one final hidden test, a test that may appear ordinary but ultimately determines your readiness for honor. If you pass it, the doors will swing wide open, and those who once whispered about your silence will now watch your elevation in awed silence. Are you ready to face this concluding private test? Stay with me. You have shown patience, consistency, and endurance during your hidden season, and now a divine shift is already underway. It may not be apparent yet, but it is certain. When Allah wants to elevate someone, no one can block that command from above the 7 heavens. Let's revisit a profound truth. Allah doesn't promote slowly, He elevates you suddenly after a long wait. This is His signature style. Look at the examples from the Quran. Yusuf, peace be upon him, was imprisoned one day and then became the treasurer of Egypt the next. Musa, peace be upon him, fled for his life only to part the sea later. Maryam, peace be upon her, endured ridicule before cradling the miraculous Isa, peace be upon him. Do you see the pattern? Delay does not equate to denial, silence does not mean absence, and stillness is not stagnation. It is preparation, positioning, and the whisper before the thunder. Now, dear chosen one, your thunder is approaching. The thing about divine elevation is that it often surprises those who aren't paying attention, but you will feel the change within before it manifests outwardly. You'll begin to notice subtle signs: detachment from distractions, an intensified attraction to prayer, a lightening of burdens that previously weighed heavily, and opportunities emerging in unexpected ways. You may start hearing verses, reminders, and phrases that resonate deeply with your soul. These are not coincidences, these are divine signals. Allah is gradually clearing the clouds for your light to shine through. Let's be honest for a moment. If Allah informed us of our public elevation with a calendar invitation, we would clear our schedules, dress up, project joy for the miracle, and share it widely. However, that is not how Allah operates. He acts according to His perfect timing. And when He chooses now, it is indeed now, irrespective of whether you feel weary, tousled, or unprepared. The decision will arrive because of the readiness instilled through your experiences. You may not realize this, but your silent prayers have already been recorded by angels. They are not lost, they are stored, being processed. Allah states in Surah Al-Ghafir, "Call upon me, and I will respond to you." He did not specify when, but He guaranteed a response. And when that moment materializes, everything transforms. Suddenly, those who overlooked you will start seeking your attention. The individuals who scorned your discipline will begin to admire your persistence. Those who believed you were overly religious will come to you for guidance. Your reaction? You will smile quietly, knowing it was never solely you. It was all by Allah's will. Every tear you shed in private, every time you held back in forgiveness, and every moment you turned away from wrongdoings while others laughed was you building spiritual strength. You were preparing for the weight of public honor. Now, keep in mind something crucial that many forget. Public elevation without private purification is a curse. But you, dear one, have been purified and refined through trials. You have not sidestepped the process, so you are now equipped for the promise. Yet, your journey is not concluded. The next challenge is to remain humble after Allah elevates you. It is not uncommon to witness individuals change dramatically the moment they receive praise. But Allah did not elevate you for you to become arrogant. He did so for you to illuminate the path for others. This true test requires reflection. Are you prepared for this responsibility? You have prayed for the breakthrough, weathered storms, betrayal, silence, and now it is finally happening. The spotlight is shifting, people are paying attention, and doors are opening before you. Elevation is upon you. But hold on. Before you step into the arena of divine recognition, I need to warn you, this next test could prove more challenging than the years spent in obscurity. Why? Because it's far easier to call on Allah when you are struggling than to remember Him when you are prosperous. Honor can sometimes feel like a burden if the heart is unprepared. Let's remind ourselves of something critical. The same Allah who elevates you can humble you again, not out of cruelty, but from a place of love, ensuring pride does not spoil what perseverance established. You have come too far to allow ego to dismantle the structure that patience has built. Let's be frank, when your name becomes known, when praise surrounds you, and admiration flows freely, a subtle ailment can enter your heart known as UGBO, self-admiration. This is a hidden poison that erodes sincerity, as warned by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So ask yourself, will you continue to weep in prayer when no one is applauding? Will you still seek Allah's approval when the world is offering theirs? Will you express gratitude when others credit you for accomplishments? You may have already noticed that before your elevation, the devil would whisper messages of inadequacy and encourage you to abandon hope. Yet now, following your elevation, those whispers may change to notions of superiority. Look at how far you've come. You're exceptional. This is a perilous trap. The devil does not care how pious you appear. He simply wants you to feel proud of your piety. He will allow you to don the religious garb, speak of Allah, observe fasts, pray, and preach, as long as you think I am superior to others. Remember, Allah elevates only those who humble themselves before Him, while those who walk arrogantly in front of His creation risk being humbled. Let's pause and reflect. Have you ever witnessed someone rise too quickly? They gain fame, attention, and influence, then suddenly fall from grace due to a scandal or downfall. Why does this happen? Because the light of the spotlight reveals what the shadows never healed. Elevation without purification is hazardous. But you, chosen one, did not bypass your purification. You have been tested fiercely, you have silently suffered in prayer, and you have implored Allah for help when no one else acknowledged your struggles. That is why Allah can now entrust you. You were selected not to boast, but to guide, not to draw people to yourself, but to lead them towards Allah. Remember the words of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Whoever humbles themselves for the sake of Allah, Allah will elevate them. Understand that humility is not just advisable. It is a necessity for maintaining elevation. Elevation is not a destination in Islam. It is a means to serve the Ummah and please Allah. However, should it become about yourself, should you become enamored with admiration or begin to look down on those still struggling, the very honor you sought could lead to your downfall. Here's the advice, chosen one. How do you safeguard your heart after your elevation? Remain spiritually humble. Let your private acts of worship exceed your public persona. Keep the remembrance of Allah alive. As people increasingly mention your name, you should mention Allah's even more. Seek constructive feedback rather than flattery. Surround yourself with individuals who hold you accountable rather than only those who applaud you. Make your prostration your grounding point. When the accolades become overwhelming, return to the place of introspection and supplication. Never forget where Allah rescued you from. Those memories will keep you anchored. Now that Allah is honoring you, consider how you will utilize the platform He has granted you. What legacy will you create? You have successfully navigated the shadows, endured silence, experienced heartbreak, betrayal, and the late-night supplications. You were patient in your solitude, and then came your rise. Allah has elevated your name, opened doors, and reversed the tides in your favor. You are now stepping into your breakthrough. However, dear chosen one, this marks the beginning of a new assignment. Elevation was never the ultimate goal, it was simply the commencement. When Allah honors a soul, it is for a purpose. Not to adorn you, not to flatter you, but to dispatch you. Just as a general selects his most capable soldiers for critical missions, Allah chooses those with firm hearts, pure intentions, and eyes focused not on worldly gains but on the hereafter. Your elevation is not for applause, it is for impact. Your journey, your story, is not solely yours. It serves as a guide for someone else's resilience. You have been elevated because your voice, your insight, and your example will be instrumental in helping others escape the dark places where you once found yourself. Consider this. What if your elevation is the answer to someone else's prayer? What if your influence is the reason someone remains steadfast in their faith in Allah? What if your perseverance serves as a template for a broken soul's recovery? You did not rise to become the center of attention. You ascended to reflect the light of La ilaha illallah. Allah states in Surah Fussilat, and who is better in speech than one who invites to Allah and does righteousness and says, indeed I am of the Muslims. This is now your role. Every good deed that arises from your presence, your words, or your influence will earn you a reward. Picture the chain reaction. Someone hears your reminder, returns to their prayers, and in time, their children witness this change. Generations to follow grow in faith, and you. You'll continue to receive rewards even after you have passed away. This is why Allah chose you. This is why you had to wait. This is why you had to suffer before you could flourish. This mission isn't for the arrogant, it is for those who have been purified. You may still feel insignificant, insecure, or uncertain, but let me assure you that the rise you are experiencing was already inscribed in Allah al-Mahfuz long before your birth. Your honor is not a coincidence, it is a divine declaration. Just as Allah honored those who came before you, Yusuf, peace be upon him, after prison, Musa, peace be upon him, after fleeing, Ayyub, peace be upon him, after illness, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, after isolation in the cave, so too are you being honored after your struggles. Now, walk with purpose. Allow me to gently nudge you. This life is but a fleeting moment. Your fame, status, and followers can vanish in an instant. So, what will truly endure? Only the deeds you performed for Allah, the impacts made on the hearts you touched for His sake. Therefore, let your rise transcend mere success. Ensure it serves as charity that continues to yield benefits even after you're gone, ultimately demonstrating that when Allah elevates someone, it is to fulfill a mission of kindness and mercy.